Hello everyone, this is Mrs. Falag, and I am presenting an overview of the Week 10 activities for English 073 class. So this week we continue to work in Chapter 3 in our book, and we have two main tasks. One is to listen to and answer questions about a radio program on Bangladesh, and secondly, to do an exercise about how to pronounce the S ending in plural words. Finally, you will do a short activity just to get yourself acclimated to the topic of the main lecture of Chapter 3. And as I mentioned in my email to you, I will be at the TESOL convention in Seattle, giving a presentation and participating in the convention program committee. So your presentations will be delivered March 28th. You should communicate with your group members if you need to, just to finalize those presentations. Also remember that we will make up the snow day that we had last week on April 25th. So let's look at the work for this week. First, you're going to listen to a radio program about Bangladesh. In case you don't know where Bangladesh is, here's a map, and you also find a map in your book on page 81 where there's some sort of preview information about the program you're going to listen to. You should also prepare for the radio program by making sure that you know the meaning of these words that are in boldface. And this is the exercise you will find on page 82 of your book. Recipient is someone who receives, and maybe you know what aid is. Shift, that may be a familiar word too, but maybe not grassroots. Think about the city of Philadelphia. You've been seeing a lot of protests in the city lately. And these are grassroots movements, movements that came up from the people, from the grass, if you will. The next word's garments. Do you know that one? Another word for clothing. Nationwide. You probably know that word, but it's a good word to incorporate into your active vocabulary. Extraordinary is also a pretty common word, and you probably know potential. The last two, beneficiaries. That looks pretty easy too if you think about the word benefit. The people who benefit are the beneficiaries. And finally, subsistence. In English, sub means below, and so the sistence part means the level, the normal level. So subsistence would be like below normal. It actually means just enough to survive. So if you have just enough food to survive, then you're at the subsistence level. All right, so I didn't include in this presentation the activities that you're supposed to do around the radio program. You will see in the Session 10 description page the page numbers in our book where you are listening to the program and answering questions. I believe it's pages 82 to 85. We will go over those questions in our class on when we meet again on March 28th. Another thing I would like you to do is there's a short video link in the Session 10 description page about this man, Dr. Amartya Sen. You also see a photo of him in our book. He is the main topic of our Chapter 3 lecture, so I want you to find out a little bit about him. You don't have to watch the whole video. Just watch the beginning part to get an idea of who he is, and we'll talk about that in our next class also. Finally, You have a short pronunciation exercise to do, and it is a short homework assignment, and we can talk more about this in our next class. Just so you know, there are 3 ways to pronounce the S ending on plural words, and the 3 ways are S, Z, and IS. Okay? So this slide here shows you the first 2 pronunciations. Cats, dogs. If you place your hand on your throat, and I know we've done this before in class, if you say the word cats, if you have your fingers on the front of your throat, you should not feel a vibration. That's the S sound. However, if you say dogs, and you put your fingers on your throat, now the S sound is really pronounced like Z, and you do feel a vibration. So test it and see if you feel a difference in your throat when you say cats and dogs. So those are the first 2 ways. The third way to pronounce the S ending is to add a separate syllable, and it sounds like is, okay? Examples: watches, bridges, judges, slices, blazes. You know, we've been working on syllables, and these are beats in a word. So these words have 2 syllables: watches, bridges, etc. So you have an exercise, and if you go to the Session 10 description page, you'll see a link to the pronunciation page and this exercise, S ending. So I want you to read words in a chart, okay? And you're gonna see a little track that you can listen to. You're going to listen to me saying these words in the chart, and then you're going to check which of the 3 endings the word has, okay? You don't really have to listen to the recording. You can just do it on your own and see if you get them right, okay? So here's the chart. Entrepreneurs, alleviates, beneficiaries, floods, etc. So there's 3 boxes here, and you check which pronunciation do you hear, S, Z, or is with an extra syllable. Okay? All right, everybody. So I will see you on March 28th, and please don't hesitate to email me if you have any questions about this week's work. Thanks.